What if helping your adult child is actually keeping both of you stuck? You may tell yourself, I'm just being a good mom. But underneath all of that helping, there may be a belief that you've never actually questioned. So let me ask you something. What are you afraid would happen if you finally said no? Do you carry a lot of responsibility, solve problems, care deeply for your family, and usually know how to keep everything moving? But when it comes to your adult child, you feel surprisingly powerless? Maybe that's why you step in so quickly. Babysitting, lending money, solving problems, offering advice, or rearranging your life to make things easier for them. And then when they don't call or include you or seem to appreciate everything you do, it hurts. You may even think, after everything I do, why don't they want to be closer to me? Today, I want to show you 3 hidden beliefs that may be causing you to do too much for your adult children and keeping you dependent on their response to feel okay about yourself. I'm Ashley, and I help capable Christian women uncover the hidden beliefs beneath overthinking and people pleasing and approval seeking so they can become peaceful and confident in who they are in Christ. The first hidden belief is this: being needed may have become proof that you matter. For many years, your children genuinely needed you to nurture them and protect them, drive them places, comfort them, and help them make decisions. But when your children become adults, your role changes so much. They begin making their own decisions, they build careers and marriages and families and friends and routines that don't always include you. You may understand intellectually this is normal, but emotionally, it can feel like a loss. Part of you may begin to wonder, if they don't need me anymore, what is my purpose? Do I still matter to them? Will they still want me around if I'm not helping them? So you keep finding ways to be useful. You offer advice they didn't request. You give money that they could learn to manage without. You drop your plans when they need a favor. You babysit when you're tired or already overwhelmed. You solve problems that they're capable of handling themselves. And underneath all that giving may be a hidden belief. If they need me, they'll value me. If I keep helping, they'll keep including me. If I say no, they may pull away more. This doesn't mean that you're manipulative or your love isn't genuine. It just means that fear may have become mixed into your giving. You not only want to help them, you may also be hoping that their need for you will reassure you that you're still important. But your worth cannot rest safely on how useful you are to another person. Ephesians 2:10 reminds us that we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works. Your season of motherhood may change, but your worth does not. Your purpose does not disappear because your adult children need you less. You matter because your identity is secure in Christ, not because of how many problems you solve for your family or how much they need you. Number 2, your help may carry a hidden contract. You babysit, lend money, rearrange your schedule, listen for hours, drop everything to help. But underneath your yes may be an unspoken expectation. I'll help them, and in return, they'll appreciate me. I'll make their life easier, and in return, they'll include me. I'll always be available, and in return, they'll stay close to me. And this is exactly why setting a boundary can feel so frightening, because sometimes the hardest part of setting a boundary isn't knowing what to say, it's believing you'll still be okay if the other person doesn't like it. I coach one woman who was struggling to set a boundary with a close family member. And as we worked together, she began recognizing the beliefs and fears that were making it so hard for her to say no and do what she knew she needed to do. And when she gained the confidence to set boundaries, something important changed. It wasn't just the relationship that changed, but she changed. She said, your coaching has allowed me to set healthy boundaries, and you instilled in me a confidence that I didn't even know I had. And that's such an important part of learning healthy boundaries. Because when your confidence comes from knowing who you are in Christ, instead of constantly needing other people's approval, you can love people without being controlled by their reaction. Now bring that back to your relationship with your adult children. Your adult child may have no idea that your help comes with an unspoken expectation. They may believe that you offered freely, and then when they don't call or visit or thank you or include you the way you'd hoped, you feel hurt and resentful. When fear drives your yes, your child unknowingly is given a job they were never meant to have. Now they have to reassure you that you matter, and that is too much weight for any person to carry. And if you're realizing that people pleasing may be part of why it's so hard for you to say no, I created a guide called Say No Without Guilt, and it'll help you recognize some of the beliefs behind your people pleasing. And I included practical scripts for what to actually say when you need to set a boundary without over explaining or feeling guilty. I'll link that below if you want some extra help with that. But there's another reason capable Christian women often keep stepping in and doing too much for their adult children. And I think this one can be even harder to recognize. So, number three is you may be taking responsibility for something that doesn't belong to you. Capable women are often rewarded for solving problems at work, at church, in the family. You may be the person who notices what needs to be done and takes care of it. And that strength can serve you well. But in your relationship with your adult children, constantly stepping in can lead you to doing way too much for them. You become the fixer, the planner, the helper, the rescuer, and peacekeeper. You step in before your adult child experiences consequences. You may carry an unspoken belief like, if I don't hold this family together, everything will fall apart. Trusting God means remembering that you're not responsible for fixing everything in your adult child's lives. Psalm 127:1 says, unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. That doesn't mean you stop loving and praying and helping or showing up. It means that you stop living as though everything depends on your constant effort. Your kids can solve problems without you. They can feel disappointment by your decision. They can make choices that you wouldn't make. And none of that means God's lost control. You keep praying for them, but saying no doesn't remove your children from his care. The Lord never stops working. It means you're learning the difference between loving them and carrying what belongs to them. One woman I coached felt like she was constantly begging for her adult children's love. She kept giving and trying harder, hoping her kids would choose her. And the goal of our work wasn't to force her children to change, it was to uncover her own hidden beliefs that made their attention feel like proof that she still mattered. And as she became more secure in her identity in Christ, she started responding differently. She said, before we started coaching together, I was really striving. And now I'm trusting God and I have so much more peace. She started building a fuller life instead of waiting for her kids to make her feel valuable. That's freedom. It's not becoming detached or unloving. It's loving your kids without requiring them to constantly reassure you. It's trusting that your worth is secure in Christ and God can care for your family without your constant help. So ask yourself, am I helping because I freely choose to, or because I'm afraid they will not want me if I stop? Do I become resentful when my giving is not repaid with closeness? Have I made being needed the proof that I still matter? These questions aren't meant to shame you. They're meant to reveal the belief that may be controlling your choices. And you may already know that you need better boundaries. You may have watched videos and read books and promised yourself that next time you'll say no. But when your adult child is disappointed or you become afraid they'll pull away, you give in again. And that's because knowing what to do is not always enough. You also need to uncover what you're afraid of if you say no. Does it mean you're selfish or a bad mother? Does it mean they'll stop needing you? Does it mean they'll stop loving you? Until that belief changes, you may keep saying yes even when you should set a limit, whenever guilt or fear become uncomfortable. Now, you may be successful and responsible and capable in almost every area of your life. You may be the woman everyone depends on. But when it comes to your adult children, you may still find yourself overthinking and rescuing and giving too much or trying to keep everyone happy because deep down, you're afraid of what might happen if you stop. And I want you to know you don't have to keep living this way. You can learn to love your adult children without carrying their responsibilities. And that's the work I do with women. We uncover the hidden beliefs that keep you overgiving, overthinking, and afraid of rejection. And we replace those beliefs with truth so you can become free, more peaceful, confident, and secure in who you are in Christ. So if you're tired of knowing you need to change, but still finding yourself falling back into the same patterns, don't just watch another video and hope that it gets better. Take the next step. Click the link below and schedule a consultation with me. We'll talk about what's happening in your relationship, what's keeping you stuck in these patterns, and whether coaching together is the right next step for you. You do not have to keep exhausting yourself trying to earn closeness with the people you love. Take care.